Hi there, it is me, April. Today for this next practice, we'll be doing a really relaxing, lovely, stretchy yin. So the supplies you'll want to have: blanket, doesn't matter if it's a yoga blanket, anything that you can fold into a few different shapes. Strap, doesn't have to be a strap. You can use the belted bathrobe, a dog leash, whatever works. We will want a couple blocks. Now, of course, don't have to be blocks. You can stack books, anything that works for you. We just will want to create a little more height. Once you've got all those things, let's begin. Join me in a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like. Crossed legs, extended, maybe you're sitting on your heels. Do rock your weight a little further back into your sitting bones. Whole rib cage lifts nice and high. Take those shoulders up and back and let them drop. Keeping chin about parallel to the floor. Closing eyes if that's comfortable, or just softly gazing downish. Make sure hands are resting heavy. And just sit here for a few moments. What are you feeling? What have you noticed? Are your shoulders gradually creeping up, and can you invite them to drop down? Are you holding tension in your legs, and can you let them be soft and fluffy? And just breathe here. Very gently drop your chin all the way to your chest. Make sure your shoulders aren't following. Keep them rolling back and down. Begin to rock your head gently from side to side. Staying on the lower half of that imaginary circle, if you will. Take your time. If there's any little spot that needs some extra love, be sure to give it. The next time your right ear is over your right shoulder, let's keep it here. Play with where your chin is pointing. Doesn't need to turn to the ceiling. Maybe reach across to the left. Still sitting nice and tall. From here, take your left arm out to the side. Drop it down away from your hip, actively reaching. We want to feel it all the way down the bicep. Hand comes back to lap, chin comes back to chest. And we'll take it to the other side. Left ear over left shoulder. Repeating that process, maybe chin comes up or across, who knows. Right arm extends out to the side, drop it down away from your hip, reach, reach. Hand to lap, chin to chest. Letting your eyes gently open here. Inhale, bring your gaze forward. And let go. Let's start out with a fairly intense one this morning, finding our little dragon shape. So here's where we'll need the blocks or your stack of books. We're going to stack blocks one on top of the other on the lowest level. If we're using books, make sure it's kind of a high stack. Let's bring our blocks or books up to the upper left corner of the mat. Let's come into a tabletop shape very first. Now, if knees are tender, you'll want to take your blanket underneath them. Do make sure your knee is in the middle of blanket so it has a lot of cushioning. We're going to bring hands to the top of our stack of whatever, and then right leg swinging forward. We want to make sure knee is either directly above the ankle or maybe even slightly behind. Untuck those back toes, maybe slide the knee back. And if this is plenty of sensation in the front of that back leg, just stay here. Maybe we'd like to come down to forearms. Maybe we're removing a few things. Maybe we're going to hang all the way down on the mat. But this is our first yin shape this morning, the one we'll hold for what seems like 3 forevers. And just breathe nice and easy. Make sure your head is heavy. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Soft face, loose jaw. Just a few more breaths, my darlings. Very slowly, let's all come back up onto palms. Move your stack of wood or off to the side. Slide yourself back to your tabletop, and then take that right leg back and around, all kinds of weirdo shapes. Just finding a little bit of movement. Whatever makes your heart happy. I'm going to scoot my blanket back a little bit. Let's meet up in our table, and then we'll take our stack of whatever across to the other side of the mat. Holding on top of our stack, the left leg is swinging forward. Again, we want the knee above the ankle or slightly behind. And hanging out, starting to find what we call the soft side of the edge. Remember, one side is always a little less marvelous than the other. So do what you need. Maybe we're on forearms here. Maybe we're all the way down to the mat. Who knows? But let's hold and breathe. It's natural for your brain to go on a journey. Just come back here. Remember your feet, your hips, your shoulders, your neck, and your breath. Slow. Come up onto your palms, moving your stack off to the side. Left leg swings back to that table, and then back it goes. All kinds of weirdo shapes. Just moving around, finding some wiggles. Coming back to your table, separate your knees mat distance, let your toes touch. Let's move into a child's pose for just a few moments. Arms in any shape that helps you soften. Gently moving up to table. And then join me in the middle of your mat in that comfortable seat. We'll shift our blanket off to the side. Take a moment here. Make sure your sitting bones are pressing down. Make sure your ribs are lifted and your shoulders drop. Close eyes if you can. Let's breathe. Breathing in, knowing I am breathing in. Breathing out, knowing I am breathing out. Coming back, bring that gaze forward. Let's move everything out of the way. Lean back a little bit. Find wide-ish legs. Ish, ish, ish. I always need to shimmy my tushy from side to side, get that goodness out of the way. My feet are soft and floppy. Now, my legs just naturally fall in. If yours fall out, super cool. We don't want tension here. We do want room so that we can breathe. So let's bring these fingertips down. Big inhale. And slowly start to fold. Once you find that first natural stopping place for your hips, honor it. Get to know it. Let it be what it is. If you need to bring your stack of whatever in front of you, cool. But let's just hang here. Nice and soft. And breathing easy. Breathing in, knowing I am breathing in. And breathing out, knowing I am breathing out. Remember to let yourself soften. If you can go further, awesome. If not, no big deal. Very slowly round your back. Roll yourself all the way up. Inhale, shoulders up and back and down they go. Stay here for just a few moments. Just breathe. And maybe notice. Back, let's build our next shape. So I'm going to lean back, get my legs out of the way for now. I'm going to grab my blocks or my stack of whatever. We want everything lined up. If they're blocks, they're end to end. If they're books, end to end. As many as you can get up, as many as feels good. So I'm going to scooch to the left of my mat here. I'm going to bring my stack of whatever to the outside of my right hip. They're lined up same direction as the long edge of my mat. Now, I'm going to take my blanket. We want to fold it as many times as we need, if you've got something that's not a yoga blanket, into a long skinny rectangle. If you do happen to have a Mexican blanket, it's just once fold to fringe. Our long skinny rectangle is coming on top of our little stack of whatever. We're going to find a little twist here. So I'm leaning more weight into my right hip, and I've got about a fist width's distance. My left thigh is on my right ankle. That's what works for me. So sit up nice and tall. Begin to turn toward your prop pile. We want as much of the front of us down as we can get. So we're coming down. My left arm is somewhere off to the left, my right off to the right. If you want less twist, you're going to look the way your knees are pointing. If you want more, you'll turn your head. We want a soft side of the edge, finding a comfortable intensity. And breathe. Take your time. Breathing in, knowing I am breathing in. And breathing out, knowing I am breathing out. Gently bring your palms under your shoulders, slowly, slowly pressing our way up. I'm bringing my legs back to a neutral, comfortable shape. I'm going to take a few breaths here, find length, and find softness. And let's switch to the other side. I'm just going to move my props, scooching myself over to the right. I'm now leaning more weight into my left hip. My right thigh is on top of my left ankle. I've got a little bit of space here. Same process. I'm going to sit nice and tall, turning to face my props, as much of the front of you down as you can get. Left arm somewhere to the left, right arm somewhere to the right. Less twist, same direction as your knees goes your gaze. For more, we're turning away. And we're breathing. Allow yourself to drop. Just melt a little more. Create ease. Very gently, Palms move under shoulders, slow, 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 pressing our way up. Build that neutral, comfortable seat. Sitting tall, softening the shoulders, closing eyes if you can, and breathe. Let's create our next shape. Blanket is going to move off to the side. We'll use it in the next one. And our little stacks of whatever or blocks completely out of the way. I'm going to plop my bum on top of my long skinny rectangle. Get your sitting bones right about the middle. And let's take diamond shaped legs, bottoms of the feet touching, knees are flopping to the sides. Now, if this is not great for knees, you can take your stacks and lift them up a little bit. You won't lose a bit of benefit here. But let's do sit nice and tall. Let's take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Big inhale. And start to come forward. Remember, it's not about how far we're coming. It's about how long you can get your breath and how much ease you can get into your body. Breathing in, knowing I am breathing in. Breathing out, knowing I am breathing out. Yin is often called the practice of surrender. We're not giving up. There are no white flags to be waved here. Surrender in yoga means I give myself to. And then you get to fill in the blank. I give myself to this stretch. I give myself to this cause, this person, this emotion, on and on and on. Surrender means I give myself to X, and I'm going to keep plugging along, knowing that my efforts will get me closer to that which I am surrendering. Just a thought. Slow, slow inhale and round your way up. And exhale the shoulders down. Sit tall. Take a few deep breaths. Let's continue on our journey. Go ahead and slide your bum off of your blanket. Make sure there's nothing else in your way. And let's slide blanket off to the side. Grabbing our straps, our belts, our whatevers. We're going to lie back on our backs. And left leg is going to lift up. I'm taking the strap around the bottom of my foot right over my arch. You can keep your right foot down. You can extend your leg, whatever works. We want to make sure backs of the shoulders are pressing down. Try not to lock your knee. We don't want the stretch in the knee. We want it down in the hamstring and glutes. I'm going to drag my hands down a little closer to my ribs. I'm going to gently encourage left leg to come a little closer. Don't pull so hard, legs begin to shake. But do breathe deeply. breathing in, knowing I am breathing in. And breathing out, knowing I am breathing out. Just a few more breaths, my loves. Try to come back to yin for a little while longer, if that brain has wandered. Gently release the tension on your strap, bending into your left knee, directly changing sides. I'm taking my right foot into the strap across my arch. I'm going to drop my left leg down. Again, you can keep the knee bent, you can extend. I'm letting my hands drift closer to my ribs. I'm honoring the fact that my right leg is tighter than my left. I'm gently drawing the leg closer. Now you'll see I have a little bend. That's a good thing. Take care of your bodies. And breathe. These poses, these deep stretches, remember that they're rewards for hard-working bodies. They're not punishment for tight muscles. I know when I breathe in, and I know when I breathe out. Release the tension on your strap, bend your knee. Let's take strap off of feet, move it off to the side. I'm bringing both of my knees in, giving myself a big hug, maybe rocking side to side, whatever works. Coming back to center, bring your feet down to your mat. Bring both palms to rest on your tummy, and let's find diamond-shaped legs. Bottoms of the feet touching, knees are flopping to the sides. And breathe easy. And now as you stay in this comfortable reclined shape, I'm just going to sit up because as we prepare to move into our final relaxation, I always like to offer a very short breath meditation. But if that's not your thing, no worries. Feel free to sit it out. For our breath this morning, we'll find that simple and yet profound Samavritti, breath of equal measure. We'll inhale to my count of 6. Exhale to my same count of 6, trying to help that breath last to 6 in each direction. And we begin. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release the technique and just breathe. Beginning now to find your way into your shape for a final relaxation. You can stay here. You can extend legs. Roll onto your side, roll onto your tummies. However you feel most comfortable and most supported. Once you find your way into your shape for our last moments of stillness, begin to let go from the crown of the head to the soles of the feet. Release muscles of the face. Eyes are soft and snuggle back in their little beds. Teeth have separated. Perhaps the lips will part. Root of the tongue and throat are soft. Chest, shoulders, arms and hands grow light. A deep breath enters the belly, and exhaling, the navel falls to the spine. Hips, legs, knees, and feet release into the earth. So comfortable, so at ease, and very, very safe here in Shavasana. Beginning now to deepen your breath. Fingers and toes find wiggles. Wrists and ankles take circles. Reach your hands high overhead and stretch from fingertips to toe tips. Roll over to your right side. Find the shape of safe little ball for just a few more moments. Om Bhurva Svaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Prachodayat. Om Bhurva Svaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Prachodayat. Keeping eyes closed as much as you can. Gently press your way up and build a comfortable seat. Hands coming to rest lightly. Sitting tall, shoulders line up over hips. Eyes and face still soft. Receive a deep inhale. Let go. Thank you, my loves, for joining me. I am always honored, truly, truly grateful for those who come and spend time with me, honoring their bodies and giving more space for this beautiful and loving practice. That chant, the Gayatri Mantra, promises us that as we remember that we are beings of light, our minds will be inspired to take the right action at the right time. You are starlight wrapped in skin. It comes not from without. It shines from within. Until we meet again. Namaste.